None of us want to throw our life away, but unfortunately there's a common trend in the BYU Utah area that is really leading a lot of young adults toward doing just that, throwing their life away. When you look on campus, you look at the atmosphere, you look at the common theme, you see everyone's excited about marriage. You go on first dates, everyone's excited about marriage. You're measuring up your potential eternal companion. And everyone's just excited. Everyone announcing their engagements, everyone saying they've been dating 2-3 months, and it's the common theme. And everyone just expresses, oh, I'm so excited, I'm so happy, I just love him so much, I feel so happy when I'm with him, I can't stop thinking about him. And that can be dangerous when someone is using those intense feelings to make the decision to get married. Dr. Helen Fisher wrote the book called The Anatomy of Love, and she conducted a study that tried to figure out what parts of the brain were actually associated with love. And within that study, they found out that the ventral tegmental area and the caudate nucleus were responsible or associated with the emotion love. Now, interesting enough that both of these parts of the brain actually are associated with the rewards and pleasure part of the brain. Now, let me just give you a little bit of background. Heroin is a chemical that actually mimics a chemical that's naturally produced in your brain called dopamine. Okay, it's a feel-good drug. It's something that your body naturally produces. Now, when someone is experiencing love, or they're excited, they're in love, they're actually receiving large doses of dopamine. And so it gives great feelings of exhilaration, you're excited, you're feeling happy, and it's a natural feeling, but in a sense you're actually feeling a natural high. And so another study that was actually conducted showed if you analyze the chemical structure of someone who was in love and someone who had a mental illness, it was almost impossible to actually tell the difference by their chemical structures. Now, a lot of you think that's funny, but it's actually true. It's actually been compared to obsessive compulsive disorder. They both have similar chemical functions. And this might seem funny. It's, oh, there's nothing wrong with being in love, with being excited. You need that excitement when you're in love. It's true, but the consequences can really be devastating. It can really damage your life. The University of Utah conducted a study in vital statistics for marriages. In the year 2000, there was over 23,000 marriages, okay, and there was over 9,600 divorces. Of those 9,600 divorces, 18% of them occurred within the first year before the first year anniversary. That's over 1,500 people, or 1,500 couples, over 3,000 people. 3,000 people whose marriages have just ended, and that's before the first year of marriage. 50% of those marriages, or of those divorces, occurred within the first 5 years. And strangely enough, Utah actually has a slightly higher divorce rate than that of the United States. And we really wouldn't think that here in Mormon country, oh, everyone's getting married, but in actuality, it does. There's a higher divorce rate than that of the United States. Marriage isn't the problem. It's what we're actually choosing, what we use to make that decision to marry. Are we just doing it because we're excited, because we're feeling happy? Or are we doing it because we've taken the time to make a friendship? They did a self-help questionnaire on the studies that they had to kind of help those people who were considering entering a serious relationship, or those who were deciding to enter marriage. And the first question in every one of those questionnaires was, have you taken the time to get to know your partner? Have you taken the time to think, to really get to know who it is you're going to marry? A lot of times, some of you may even think that, oh, I'm so excited, things are going great now, so I need to jump at the chance. I need to get married now while things are good, before things could possibly go wrong. But if it's going to be like that, if you're jumping into it now because of possible not working later on, why would you want something like that anyway? Wouldn't you want something that you know is solid? Why would you want to become another statistic? A good barometer that I like to use to kind of help you know whether or not you're making the right choice, because sometimes it's hard, especially when you're on dopamine, you're all high, you're all excited. A good barometer is you never have to rationalize something that's right. Do you have to rationalize to your friends why you go to church? Like, it was a good idea? No. You just, but then they start to rationalize. They start to say, oh, but I've gotten to meet their family and they love me so much and we've become really great friends and things are just so great. If it was the right thing to do, you wouldn't need to rationalize. You never have to rationalize a right choice. And so the next time when you find yourself in a relationship, because all of us are going to get into relationships if we're not already married, think about whether you're in love with the notion of love or whether or not you've actually developed a real friendship. Take the time to get to know the people. There's no reason to rush into it. You don't have to choose your companion like you choose underwear. Oh, this looks nice. I'm going to take that. You want to make sure that when you choose something, it lasts. And so that you can develop a real friendship and a real companion. We need to learn to separate romance from reality, because that romance isn't always going to be there. Of course, it's going to happen every once in a while, and, but you don't want to make that the deciding factor for the rest of your life. You don't want to end up married and then end up divorced before the first year. Make sure you don't become a statistic. Take the time to get to know your partner, because then you'll find that it's more rewarding. You'll find that you've made a right decision because you won't have to rationalize to other people why you've made the choice to get married.